And so I end up down at the legislature. I'm trying to put about 20% there and about 80% here at Lawson. I'm still pretty committed here. Stella says it's more like 90-40, but that's the theoretical is 80-20 is the split between here and the legislature. And the legislature is interacting with the MLAs. If you think that there's days that you don't have friends, even their friends are enemies depending on what day of the week it is. So it's a bit of a lonely existence for them, and they do work hard. It's a lot of work. So it's I wouldn't say it's thankless, but it's a challenge for them as well. So they need a voice.
So do you make big money doing this job?
Which one are we talking about?
I know Lawson is very generous. What about the other one?
Yes, they're generous, and for which I'm grateful. No, it's a ministry that we have to gain our own support for it, and there are some expenses involved, even at 20% of salary, but it's the expenses of running back and forth to Regina and various and sundry other things that are kind of pile up some expenses for that. And so we trust God that He'll provide, and we are always fundraising too.
And one last question. What's the most fun or influence you've felt, the most exciting thing that's happened since you've been doing this? Now you really have to think quickly.
Oh, in the last 48 hours or?
The last exciting thing that happened as a chaplain to the legislature.
Oh, that's a two-parter. The most exciting, one of the most exciting things is when we first went there. I had Tim came out and spent a day with me as we were just trying to figure out what this looked like and kind of get the lay of the land there, and had coffee with one of the MLAs before session. Session starts at 1:30 in the afternoon. We had breakfast and coffee with him, and explained what we were trying to do. That we just wanted to be there and offer prayer support and just be a listening ear if they needed something. And he said, "So who's introducing you?" And I said, "Huh? What's that mean?" And he said, "Well, I'd be glad to introduce you." And so the first day we were at the legislature, we had a beautiful introduction. And so we got into the Hansard as a chaplain and recognized there. And the most recent thing, on Wednesday, I was down at a little reception. I'd been invited to a reception. Somebody was getting, a former MP was getting his honorary doctorate of law degree, and so he wanted to invite me to be the part of that. So I was there, and I bumped into one of the MLAs who I'd been told I wouldn't get very far with this guy, and he waved to me across the room and called me over and said, "Hey, I'm not running next time, but and we had a little conversation about what that meant for him and the some of the pressures of sitting there for 8 years." And he said, "I'd love to have, can we have lunch one of these days? As soon as this cabinet shuffle is over, I'd like to have lunch and just talk about what my future looks like and where things are going." So that was the most exciting, most interesting, most recent thing. So
bless you. Give Pastor Barry a hand. We're proud of you. God bless you as you work and labor for him.